Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
Forrest, blow your conch shell with me.
Okay.
Are you going to do it today?
No.
Oh, you're not going to do it today? It's just me today?
Just you.
Oh, why? Why won't you? Oh, wait, you're not here.
I'm not there. You didn't notice?
No, Luis has it set up, so it looks like you're here at the table. I just forgot for a second. Why aren't you here, Forrest? What's up, bro?
I have 5 days to live. So this is the last Mermen.
Well, it was a fun run, guys. Fill out your unemployment papers, Luis. What?
Have COVID.
So what you're saying is...
You probably gave it to me.
What happened?
You probably gave it to me.
You think I gave it to you when we were here and we were both saying that we had allergies last week?
I don't know. You've been sick for the last 2 weeks.
I've been sick for 3 months, bro. I've been sick for 3 months.
Maybe you are COVID.
Maybe at this point I've just become the monkey. Could be.
Well, I have COVID and I feel pretty good today. I felt kind of shitty. Not shitty. I felt pretty good most of the time. I was just a little congested. But I'm supposed to, well, we'll see if I go to Asia.
We'll see. It's a waiting game at this point.
Yeah, I've got my passport here. That's my Japan thing. I've got all sorts of stuff going on here, but here's the instructions to go to Japan. Now I think I'll be able to go.
They give you instructions on how to go to Japan?
Dude, I don't know if you know this, but other countries are handling COVID slightly different than the U.S.
That thing looks like an IKEA instruction booklet.
Dude, you have to start here, then you got to go down here and here. You got to scan this. These are all you got to show proof of vaccinations and all this shit. Most of the countries in Japan, they literally just stopped the quarantining and testing. Literally just stopped it. So, but I was on a plane coming back from Florida where I assumed I got it. And people, look, if you're sick with anything and you got to fly in a plane, I know sometimes you got to, just mask up.
Yeah.
Right. Just don't cough on other fucking people, you fuckheads. That's what was going on. I was on a plane back from Florida, and we know how everyone in Florida is super responsible. And people were coughing and sneezing and shit, and no one was wearing a mask. And I was just like, all right, probably gonna get something. Here I am.
What if instead of wearing a mask, instead of it looking like the medical masks and, what if we made wearing a mask cool? Like it became cool again to dress up like a cowboy. So just it wouldn't be a political statement to wear a mask. You could just pretend
it's not a political statement. Here's the thing.
But that's what people are making it. That's why people don't want to wear them, because they're like, oh man, that shit doesn't even work. Blah, blah, blah. But maybe if it was cool to put on a red bandana and a cowboy hat that day, they could be like, nah, I just felt like being a bandit today. They'd be secretly woke.
Here's the thing. If you're sneezing or coughing and you just hold up a piece of paper like this, you're going to prevent the sneeze or cough from coming towards the person. Yeah. Now, if you wear a mask that has a filter on it and you're sick, is it perfect? No. Are you going to greatly decrease the chances of getting other people sick around you? Yes. I'm not saying you have to wear a mask if you're not sick. If you're not sick, I'm not saying you have to wear a mask. If you are fucking sick, and people, speaking of Asia, that are Asian countries have been doing this for years because they're considerate, have been wearing masks because they say, all right, I'm not going to get other people sick. But
that's why you're trying to move there this week.
Maybe I'll stay there. Who knows?
Yeah, I remember times in before the pandemic, 2016 or some shit, when I was going to do gigs around the country or whatever, where there'd be like someone on a plane next to me and they're like, and I'm like, bro, I know I'm going to get sick from this fucking guy. It had nothing to do with the pandemic and nothing to do with politics. I'm just like, dude, I don't want the flu this week. I gotta work. You know what I mean? And then you're just sitting there and he's like, oh, allergies. And you're like, good one. I'm going to use that when I podcast in the future and might have COVID.
Yeah. Well, the last time I was in Asia was the beginning of 2019, I want to say. And there was people, this was before COVID, there's people wearing masks because they were probably sick or they had the flu or something. And that's how they dealt with it. And they just said, hey, guys, I'm sick, but I still have to go on with my life.
Nope.
So in doing so, I'm going to wear my mask. And it wasn't a political statement. It was a, hey, I care about you as a fellow person statement. That's what it was.
Maybe it's because they live in a communist country and they're all under mind control. And that's how they control them, is they scare them. And then you got to wear their sheep. That's why they wear them, Forrest.
Yeah. Well, some of the countries are communist, but not the ones we're going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to scratch my back. They just legalized weed in Thailand. Pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if you're aware of this. Pre-legalization of weed or pot in Thailand, if you were caught smoking or possession of weed, they hung you.
Hey.
So that was a big 180 there.
Yeah. Hey, we've changed our minds. Sorry about that. It's cool now. Well, that's good news for all the WNBA players out there.
Yeah, Brittany Griner. So we're gonna be, we're gonna be in Thailand for I don't know, like 5 days or something like that. We have a show. I'm doing a show with Jim. I have a show at Comedy Club Bangkok or Bangkok Comedy Club. I always forget how it is, but it's on the 10th. And I guess we're gonna smoke weed legally.
Hey,
if you can't fuck around, you can't go to other countries and mess around. Like, this is the thing. When you're American, I think you think you're just, invincible. And you go to these other countries and like this Brittany Griner situation and stuff is like.
Yeah, she's like, what's the worst they'll do to me? Come on, And then it's like, it's pretty bad.
I feel bad for her, but it's like you also had drugs in a country that doesn't like us.
Yeah.
And you're a famous person from this country. So it's like, I get it, I get it. I mean, put it this way. I've told the story about when I was with Malik Fannin and we got detained in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I remember that, dude. I was there the week before you, and then that happened, and then like, yeah, this gig's not going to happen anymore.
Yeah. So Malik. I think he goes by Malik Fannin. I used to go by Malik S. Maybe he still goes by Malik S. He's a comic from Miami as well.
Funny dude, bro.
Super funny.
Murder.
Yeah. I know he's writes on The Neighborhood. He's a writer in there, but he's appeared on The Neighborhood as well. And I think I just saw a thing in Deadline where he has a script ordered or maybe even a pilot for his own show. Like he's killing it. Nice. He's doing great. And one of the funniest comics, man. If you've never seen Malik Fannin, Malik S., look him up. Really funny. Anyways, it was me. It was supposed to be me and Al Jackson, I think, originally. I think Malik was going at a later date, and Al couldn't do the gig, so because Al was doing something else. So Malik got pushed to this date, and I knew Malik, but I didn't have Malik's number at that point. This is like a while back. I didn't have his number, so when I saw him at the airport, kind of just like, hey, what's up? And we both got on the planes. He's sitting in the front of the plane, I'm sitting in the back. We're flying to the Cayman Islands from Miami, and one of the owners of the Improv in South Florida booked us for the gigs. And you did the gig before, right? Who were you there with?
So I was there with Dean Napolitano, and what made what made that gig so funny was that it was like the person who booked it was like, hey, they're doing comedy there, but they're not. They like, you gotta say when you're coming into the country, you gotta say you're just there for vacation, like, because I guess it's not all on the up and up, And I don't know if they were supposed to get like permits or what, but it was definitely like a work visa situation where it's like, it's just going to be at a bar. There's no other comedy on the island. They've never had comedy on the island. So it's going to be like somewhere to try to build. And then we'll get legit eventually. But they were like, just say that it's, and we're like, yeah, okay, what's the big deal? No big deal, right? And
well, that's great. I didn't have any of that information.
Yeah.
I had none of that information you just told me.
Yeah.
I had none of that. I had information, you're going to do this gig, and I was told Al Jackson has all the information because he had the email.
Which by the way, that still might not have got to you if he was with you.
But I know Al really well. I have his number. I have, like touch base with him, whatever. And so, anyways, we get to the airport. We fly in there. I have none of this information. And they give us the immigration cards. We're flying in the Cayman Islands, and it says, "Where are you staying?" on the immigration card. I'm like, I don't know where we're staying.
The comedy condo.
Yeah. I'm looking out the window, like maybe I should just. I'm looking. I can't get up. We're literally coming like in the landing pattern, so I can't get up to like walk to the front of the plane to talk to Malik. And I'm like, maybe I should lie because I'm not going to be able to see him. Whatever. So I look out, and I don't know if you've ever been to the Cayman Islands, anybody. There's not a lot of hotels. It's like where everybody launders their money, I guess, in these banks and shit.
Yeah.
Like you look out the window, there wasn't like a Holiday Inn or a Hilton or something. It was all just houses and shit. So I just left it blank. We get off the plane. It's one of those ones you just get off the stairs like you're a dictator or something. You're waving to people, and we're the last flight in that day. The show was the next night. It might have been that night. I'm not sure. We were the last flight in. And we're all going through immigration. By the time I get into the immigration room, Malik is through. And I'm like one of the last people through. And I get up to the immigration place, and they're like, "Where are you staying?" And I said, I don't know where I'm staying. But the guy I have the guy's name. That's all I had is the guy's name and number that's going to come pick me up. And they go, "Well, what's his name and number?" And I wrote it down for him. And they just, this is what they said to me. They go, "Oh, yeah. Yeah, we know this guy." That's what they said.
He's been picking people up from the airport every Friday for some reason. He's had a lot of buddies come through.
Yeah, they knew the guy. They're like, "We know this guy." And I was like, "Oh, shit." And they said, "Wait here." And there was this big double-side mirrored wall. And they just made me wait there. There was nobody else in the room. Took my passport. And I would say I was there for 45 minutes, maybe an hour, just standing there. I have no cell service because this is like when cell phones, you didn't have cell service in other countries. Now you can go to another country, you pay $10 or something, you'll have stuff.
Yeah.
This was not like, it would have been like $20 to make a call. I didn't even have like the stuff. It was like, I didn't, and also you couldn't use your cell phone in that area. And Malik and this other guy are like around the corner I know this later. They're just like, what the fuck has this guy done, And this other woman comes out, and this is the first thing she says to me. She goes, "We were going to throw you in jail." That is how she starts the conversation. "We were going to throw you in jail." I was like, "What?"
Okay.
She goes, "But here's what we're going to do. We're going to walk out. We're going to see the guy's going to pick you up. He's going to buy you a return plane ticket." And the other comedian, like they already knew there was another comedian.
Yeah.
And another comedian. And if there's a show, if we go by that, we're going to go by a club tonight. And if there's a show, you guys are all getting arrested. And we're going to hold on to your passport. And you have to be here at like some ungodly hour, 5 or 6 in the morning when the office opens, right? And I was like, oh, geez. We walk around, and the guy's there, and Malik's there, and all the fucking people. And they're like, what the fuck? Like, they're kind of whispering, like, what the fuck? I'm like, I didn't have any of the information, whatever. And they're kind of pissed at me, But then later on, when we made the call back to the States,
yeah.
Luckily, that person on the phone was like, "Oh, I did forget to give Forrest that information," which kind of was like a relief for me because then they were pissed at them, and not me, and they were like, "All right, we're sorry," and I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I didn't want to lie because then I thought," and so then they were pissed over that, So
how on brand is that for just comedy bookers in general? That the first, I'm not giving out any of those names, but very on brand for comedy brand. Yeah. The first week it was like totally organized, like we got this, it won't be a big deal, and then it just took like the second week for them to be like, oh, forgot to give them the info.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm in another country, I'm not lying, because here's the thing is, the Cayman Islands, they don't have like a military or an army, I think, but once you're there, they don't give a, now they have all the power, like they have the power of you, and they're like, oh, Mr. American's here and stuff, we'll throw you into a fucking Cayman Islands, and then no one's gonna give a fuck about me, So I'm just like, fuck. They had to buy 2 plane tickets for us to leave the first flight the next day, and there was this huge event there. It was a track and field event of the Caribbean, like all the Caribbean nations, which is massive because if you ever watch the Olympics, those are the motherfuckers that win track and field. So it's not like this is like the precursor to the Olympic trials of, you know. And so there was like 2 seats left. It was like another, like they had to drop like $1,000 each to fly us back to fucking Miami. The guy's pissed. We're in the car. They're driving us to the condo. And the whole time, Malik, I remember he was like, yo, all right, so we're still going to get paid for this, right? And the guy's like, no, yeah. I think you're going to get paid back in the States. And we're trying to call back there because we already know we're getting fucked on that.
Yeah,
and
like totally.
Malik, God bless him, was like, he knew too. He was like, no, I think you're supposed to pay us. And I'm just sitting there depressed, like, wow, you know, we never got paid.
Of course.
Spoiler alert, but we never got paid at all for the gig. They brought us to the condo, and I remember it was the night of the Duke Butler NCAA finals basketball. I remember because we watched it with like we watched it like grainy coming in and out, and we had to stay in the condo. We weren't allowed to leave. I didn't have my passport, and we wandered down the street. The only place we could go to this restaurant to eat some fucking super expensive meal. Me and Malik had a romantic dinner in the Cayman Islands at this super expensive restaurant. Watched that, and at like 4 a.m, they picked us up, and they weren't open. That was the other thing. We got there at like 5 a.m. at the airport, and we knock on the door in immigration, and just some like luggage guy goes, "They don't open until 7 a.m." I'm like, "Oh, they're just fucking with me. They're just fucking with me now." Like, so then I get my passport. We get on the plane. We leave. They told me there's a red flag if I ever come back to the Cayman Islands. They don't give a shit, but anyways.
Well,
so I'm banned for the Cayman Islands.
Do you want me to tell you what you missed?
Yeah, tell me about the gig. How much did you get paid? I forget how much.
I don't remember. I'm sure it wasn't much. I'm sure it was a couple $100.
I think it was pretty good actually.
I don't remember, but it was the first time I ever met Dean. For people who don't know who Dean Napolitano is, he's a very handsome, very funny comedian.
Actor too. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Great actor. He spent some time out here in LA and then moved back to Florida to be closer to his family. So he still works a lot in Florida. So it's the first.
I love Dean. He's very funny, man.
Yeah.
Funny
so I consider him a really good friend now, and this is the first time I ever met him. So we meet in the airport in the terminal before we get on the flight to go there, and so we were talking about like, hey man, so supposedly we're supposed to say that we're just going there like on vacation or whatever. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah. So then we're going through customs over there. And we went through together. We were side by side because they were like, who are you traveling with? And we were like, oh, we're together. And, you know, Dean's a really handsome dude. I'm like, you know, a young buck at the time. And
you're the bear and he's the otter or whatever.
So like, what are you guys doing in the Caymans? And we're like, it was like a movie where like we both like answered at the same time nervously, where I was just like, relaxation. He's like, vacation, relaxation, vacation, you know? And the guy's just like looking at us. You're like, you guys are only here for 2 nights? We're like, 2 nights, quick relaxation, vacation. He's like, have some fun, guys, you know? And so we're
laundering money.
Yeah.
We're laundering money.
So they pick us up, you know, that same dude, I'm sure, I think his name was like Freddie or something like that, picks us up from the airport. And we were like, hey, man, is there somewhere we could grab food, like near where we're staying, like somewhere we could walk to? He's like, my buddy's owns a bar on the beach. He's like, you want me, but you can't walk there. But he's like, I got a couple hours. He's like, you want to drive there? And we're like, yeah, sure. So we haven't even dropped our luggage off. We just drive straight to this dude's, you know, this bar on the beach. You know, his buddy's bartending. We get burgers. Me and Dean start ordering fruity drinks. We're buying, you know, everyone's having drinks. This guy's friends show up, you know, and then that guy's finally like, hey man, you know, you actually can walk it. If you, oh, no. I know what it was. He was like, hey man, I got to go. Do you want to leave now so that I can drop you off at your place? And we're like, yeah, cool. He goes, all right, man, I'm going to go pull the car up. And I'm like, all right, cool. So the guy leaves to go pull the car up. And then his buddy walks up and puts a bill for me and Dean. It was like $200 or something like that. And I'm like, I just assumed that dude was going to pick it up because he was the one who was encouraging us to like get drinks, hang out, have fun. And he totally stiffed us with the bill. So me and Dean had to pay this bill. We get in the car and we're just like, so that place was good, huh? We're like suggesting that dude should chip in. He's like, glad you guys had fun. All right, let's get you to your place, right? Oh my God, this guy's a shyster. So,
oh God, yeah.
So we show up to the gig the first night. So there's no guns on that island. Like gun control, like you're not allowed to own a gun. So there's like never shootings on that island. And apparently a few days before we got there had been a shooting on the island. So the whole place was on edge. It was like a huge deal. There was like the police, but like with semi-automatic weapons, like on every corner. And they were like just randomly checking, bars and stuff and just making, because they were still looking for one of the dudes or whatever. So it was like a weird time to be there. So they had, since they kept doing these like raids of all the bars and these sweeps, the bar had taken down the flyers for the comedy things. They didn't want the police to see that they were having a comedy show there. So we had like nobody show up for the comedy show. It was like 9 people a night at the comedy show. And it was such a bad setup. It was they put they made the dance floor.
You stayed in that condo too, then that me and Malik probably stayed in.
It was a condo right on the beach, which was real cool. I mean, we had a great time hanging out, but
wow.
So the gig though was like.
Did you hear that ringing? Is that my phone? Is that coming through? Okay.
No, I think it's a side effect of COVID. So the stage was the dance floor, which can work. Except for the dance floor was lower than the rest of the club. It was like down in a pit. So the people who were watching the show were up higher than us looking down. And we were just down there on the dance floor looking up at the 9 people. And then the DJ, who's like playing the music for our walk-on music or whatever, he stayed at the DJ booth the whole time and would do sound effects during my set. So I'd be like, hey, you guys like video games? And then you hear like waka 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 waka. And I was like, bro, this is not normal, man. Like he was just trying to be part of the set, And I'm like, yeah, I got a dog. He'd like hit a button, it would be like, woof, 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 woof.
I think in all the shows I've done in the Caribbean, there's always they just don't quite know what to do with stand-up comedy. I remember Al Jackson told me he did one in the Virgin Islands one time, and they had an opener for him, and the guy had never done stand-up outside of the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to do 15 minutes, and he did 45 minutes, and they were all street jokes. And he was like, okay, so a guy comes to a bridge, and there's a frog, and he's like, frog, let me cross the bridge. And the frog is like, I will not let you cross the bridge. And he's like, why will you not let me cross the bridge, frog? Yeah. And it's like, but those jokes that take forever to say. And he said he did 45 minutes of those jokes, and I was just sitting there like, what the fuck, bro? I gotta go.
Hey, by the way, I think I did that gig before too. By the way.
The Virgin.
So wait, shitty ones. This is the best part. This is the best part though. So we did that first night, and then we went to a party after, some of the people, the expats who live on the island, who were one of the 9 people that showed up. They were really cool. They took us to an awesome party. We had fun. So the next night, me and Dean are broke, right? We spent all this money the first day. So,
it's expensive as shit, Cayman. It's so expensive, man.
Yeah.
It's as expensive as anywhere in the States.
So the next day, we decided to walk down to the grocery store and just buy groceries to cook, to make food the rest of the weekend, to save money.
I get that. Yeah.
So we walk down to the grocery store, and we're walking back, and it's pretty far. It's a far way to walk with grocery bags, put it that way. And then we're walking down the sidewalk, and we're...
Hey, but when you went to... I think we went to the same grocery store, because we went and got snacks just to have them with some water. And I remember when we went there, I bought some pretzels and some water, just some shit to have in the house.
Yeah, still not cheap.
And I think I remember when they rang it up, they did some shady shit where it was whatever the money was. And then I go, oh, I've only got American money because I couldn't go anywhere. And they go, oh, American money? And they go, just give me $60. And I was like, what do you mean give me $60? And I was like, yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, it's the conversion in my head.
Yeah, very shady.
So we're walking down the street, and there's this woman walking towards us who's an elderly woman, right? And I could tell there was a weird vibe to her, right? So me and Dean kind of stopped talking, and we're just I don't know. You could just tell something was a little off, right? There was this tension about her. And so she walks by, she looks Dean in the face, really looks him in the face as she walks by. And remember, he's got 2 bags of groceries, so he doesn't have an open hand to do anything, right? As she's walking by him, She takes her hand and I mean aggressively grabs his dick. Like just goes like that. And then just keeps walking and he just stops and goes, ooh, like that. And I look at him, I'm like, are you okay? What was that? What is it? And I wasn't 100% sure if she like punched him or grabbed his dick or what happened. And I turned around and I look at her, and when she had turned around backwards and was walking away, and she didn't have any teeth, and she just goes, ah, like that, like that. She like showed her gums off to him and then kept walking. And he looks at me and goes, what just happened? And I was like, I think you just got sexually assaulted, bro. He's like, that was the craziest thing. And I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I've never seen like that in my life, right?
Nah, that's how you proposition somebody in the Cayman Islands.
He was so weirded out by it. The rest of the day. He was just like, I don't know how to feel about this. Right? And so that night he gets on stage and there's only like 10 or 11 people in the audience, whatever. But he's like, I got to tell you guys this story. The craziest thing happened to me. And he starts telling the story. And the second he talked about her grabbing his dick, the whole bar goes, oh, that's Alice. They're like, you met Alice. Like, everyone knows Alex. She loves grabbing people's dicks. Welcome to the Caribbean.
It's a small island, man.
Yeah.
It's a small island. Because they knew this guy in customs. They knew the fucking guy.
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, he's trying to run these illegal. They're trying to always do some shit at his club.
Yeah,
man.
you went to high school with everybody, you know? It was like, you're like, oh, Jesus, guy again.
Well, anyways, you guys should check out Dean Napolitano, super funny comedian. He's been in a bunch of movies and stuff. I looked it up too. Malik, his show's in development.
Nice.
It's called the Hiltons. It's in development. It'll be on CBS. And he not only is he a writer, but he's an executive story editor.
The Hiltons
on the Hiltons.
Oh, it's about a guy who opens up a hotel in Grand Cayman Island.
No, it's just like I don't know the descriptions there, but it'll be on CBS. But he's an executive story editor and writer on The Neighborhood, so he's doing great.
Nice.
So they're both very funny guys. So
Forrest, you want to? It's almost Christmas. You want a candy cane? Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
it's insensitive. You can't taste it anyways. Sorry.
I can taste stuff. I didn't lose my sense of smell.
I never had that. When I got COVID, I never had that. I never had the loss of tasting, but that's got to be like the weirdest thing.
This is my second time. I had it when I had the first time. I was very mild. This time's mild too. I mean, you're vaccinated. You expect it to be. I know some people have had it more seriously when they've been vaccinated, but the first time was I barely noticed I had it. But I did start to lose my sense of smell. That's what happened. And then my taste for one day, it slowly went away and then it just came back. But that one day was like weird. So I got like a breakfast burrito, I remember, and I doused it with hot sauce just so I could taste something, because you can still taste like hot, spicy, salt, sweet, And I put so much hot sauce on it, I burned my fucking mouth and throat just because I wasn't like tasting it properly. Huh. So then my throat was ripped. Good times.
You remember like at the beginning of the pandemic when every day you'd wake up and you'd be like, oh man, I think I got it. And then you're like, oh no, I'm just hungover because I'm drinking every night. Well, I used to always have my move was every morning I'd go and eat a pickle. And I'd be like, nope, I taste the pickle. I'm good.
Yeah. This time I just a little bit like congested, I was congested, and then my throat was like just a little mucusy, and I was like, I've got some tests. Let me test. But I did not think I was gonna. And then it was like the line came, and I was like, oh fuck. And then did another one. I was like, son of a bitch. And here I am.
Are you a candy cane guy? I love candy canes.
Yeah, I like them. I mean, love. I don't know.
I like the little ones. I like the little ones like this. When you got the big one, it makes you get sticky everywhere, But this, you just pop the whole thing in your mouth, but you still get.
I like biting them down and then you put the loop in your mouth like it's a bit, like you're a horse.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
We'll do that.
A Christmas horse. You're a big Christmas Clydesdale, Forrest. That's how I've always thought of you.
It says 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. It's going to knock us off here, Luis.
Yep. Are you fine to just stop it here real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Call back in.
Let's put a bookmark in this real quick, guys. We didn't pay for the upgraded Zoom.
Let's put a pin in this, a noodle on it.
Yeah, all right, we're back. I literally have been paying for the upgraded Zoom ever since March of 2020, and I haven't used it in like 8 months. So I just like 2 days ago unsubscribed from it, and now we're using this, and we only have that's on you, Luis.
Yeah, it's a new thing since July, so I was not aware.
Well, Luis, you need to invest in your business, okay?
We're probably going to have to do another one of these on Zoom because if I'm gone and you're going to be gone, we're both going to be gone. We're probably going to do one remotely when I'm in Asia and you're wherever you're at.
Yeah, we're going to have to probably do one of us is going to have to be on Zoom, if not both of us, probably for quite a few episodes here on out, COVID or not.
No, just one episode.
I can only hear him on my left ear now. Does that matter? It doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure that you're not like
liberals.
Hey, boy. You just missed a pretty good story by Luis that I heard. There we go. I got you now. Luis, are you okay with sharing your experience with COVID?
I mean, that's fine, I guess.
All right. Remember we were talking about how I ate pickles?
Yeah.
We've been testing out the smell and the taste. Tell them what you did, Luis.
Yeah, I mean, because I lost my smell and taste, and like rather than be like scared or upset, I was just like so fascinated by it. So I would just grab random shit around the house. I would grab like a candle and just give it a big, and like nothing. I'm like, wow, fantastic.
That's crazy.
Fascinating. And then
what else could I smell?
Yeah, dude, I would do a bunch of things just with a lot of pungent smells. And for the real test, I was dropping a deuce in the bathroom, and I gave it a wipe, and I was like, oh, quite a bit on there. And I was like, wait, hold on.
Well, that's a dirty wipe. How can I use this to my advantage?
Yeah, so
you put it up to your nose?
I put it right up there. Didn't touch it, but it was right up to the nose, and like I gave it a little whiff. Gave it a little whiff at first, just in case it did smell, and nothing. So then I gave it a big nothing, absolutely nothing. And so, yeah, I mean, it would have sucked if I did smell it, but it was just fascinating that I couldn't even smell my own
I'm so
shit.
proud of you.
Thanks, man.
Well, no, you could have done that with like cologne or something, you know?
He did it with everything, and he just couldn't stop. And he wanted to see how far he could push the bounds. I think that would have been funny. That's what Fauci should have told everyone. Fauci should have been like, if you think you have COVID, go to the bathroom.
If your shit don't stink, you got COVID.
Try to get a real good wiper in there.
But you got the Tushy 2.0, which I have.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you have a Tushy, Dave?
I do. Oh, is that a bidet?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bidet. Changed my life.
Yeah, man. Now when I'm on the road, I'm like,
it's
I
the
gotta wipe my
worst.
ass. Gotta wipe my ass? What am I, fucking a peasant?
Yeah, it's the worst when you're on the road. Because when you're on the road, the toilet paper in hotels and in restaurants and in places that you poop when you're not at your house are not great. So when you
they put fiberglass in it.
Yeah, you're not eating well on the road. You don't have like a regular, so it's just bad, man. You come home and your butthole's all tore up, man. And then you get home. I get home and then it's like I can shoot it with that sweet water.
Yeah, because when I shoot it with water, and then if I dab it with just a piece of paper, I'm like, there's not even any shit on there. Can't even smell it. Couldn't even do Louise's smell test.
Bro, sometimes
but on the road, forget it.
Sometimes I just like fire hose it, bro. I crank that. I like. I like
you do a little shimmy.
I shimmy in my seat so that I know that I got like good positioning and there's like, a little bit of spread going. And dude, it's like when you drive into those places where you go wash your own car and they have those really good pressure cleaners. I just crank it up. If you have like some bird shit on your hood and you got to really hit it for like 30 seconds. That's what I do in my tushy every now and then. Just make sure I'm really clean.
I'm going to Asia. All the toilets there have them. They all have fucking squirters, man. Except the further you go down in Asia, the different the squirters get. So in like Korea and Japan and stuff, they'll have full on bidets, and then you get into Southeast Asia and they just have the thing that you clean your dishes with. I'm like with just like like the little the handheld squirter. It's just sitting there, and I'm like, you gotta like
it's like a well. You gotta like pump it like a well.
Plus, it's like people aren't careful. They're jamming that in their ass, and now I'm like, got some other ones with shit on it.
I never thought of it. Maybe that's how I can get clean on the road. Maybe I got to bring a squirt bottle with me. I never thought
They
about
do.
that.
When you buy a Tushy, they usually give you a portable one. It's like a little collapsible one they give you.
What?
It's like a turkey
and you
baster, isn't it?
Yeah. You fill up and you just squirt your own. You squirt your ass with it.
I'm gonna look into this.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to look that hard.
I've brought my own squirt bottle with me on the road if I knew I was going to be cooking barbecue because you use a spray squirtzer for barbecue.
Yeah.
So why
You
not
might want to
bring
use
it
a different. You might want to use a different one.
Oh yeah, I'll just bring the same one. Meat probe. Whoop.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I got some messages. I got a message from the guy that we did the voicemail from. Did you get that from Richard?
I don't think so.
I got it. I got a message from Richard
That he heard us talking about it.
Yeah. And he said that we didn't hear him right, I guess.
That's on us. Our bad, Richard.
Well, I mean, he's drunk and Australian. So. He goes, "Hey, mate, this is Richard from Australia, online alter ego.
Okay.
And his alter ego is Wilbar, whatever the fuck that is.
Cool.
Just listen to the World Cup and chicken fucking episode. I guess that's what that was called." He pissed himself laughing.
Clickbait, baby.
Pissed myself laughing. Misunderstanding of the word scales came out of scars, which was the loose link I was trying to make between scales on chicken legs and fish, aquatic animals. Made it so much better. I'll call in another time, about an hour, he says. Thanks for the podcast. So I'm assuming we have more messages, and they're mostly from Richard.
we actually do. We
do. We have
and
some
it's from
voicemails?
Richard?
Yeah.
Well, look, Richard, we're glad you're calling in, but we also want other people to call in. But
we did get a new text and a new voicemail as well.
Someone utilized the texting. One of my buddies.
Any women? I mean,
is it all just
or
bros?
guys?
Nah, I don't think that's our demographic. Really.
Yeah, this is the Mermen
Come on,
podcast.
ladies.
I just talked about smelling my own shit.
Come on, ladies.
Why wouldn't women want to be a part of calling? What is our number? 847
347
347
Mervert. Why would they? What would turn them off from that? I don't know.
Wait, isn't there an area code?
347 is the area code.
That's,
That's Mervert.
347 Mervert.
Can we listen to the voicemails with this setup?
Yeah,
let's do it.
All right. First, we'll start with a new caller.
Brand new caller. Or someone pretending to be a brand new caller.
All right, here we go.
Dave, Forrest, and Luis. This is everybody's favorite blind guy, John. Forrest, when the hell is he coming to Sacramento, buddy? Me and my blind friend and his old lady were gonna crack up at your ass. Great podcast. Unsolicited is a great one too. I don't know about that's a great one. I haven't listened to yours, Luis. Because, well, like Tommy says, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. All right, well, keep it up, fellas. Don't really have any comments or questions. I'll probably call in a few times drunk, because that's what I do. All right. Bye.
All right. I have 3 takeaways from that call. One is that I see a pattern of people calling in when they're drunk, and I like it. 2, this unsolicited podcast is definitely becoming our nemesis. There's definitely a back and forth here now.
I think they like us. They're bringing us listeners.
Yeah, no, I like it. It's working.
Yeah, I think we have to go on the unsolicited podcast.
I don't know. We should at least talk about them and repay the favor. Guys, check out the unsolicited podcast. Wait a minute. Did we just see them somewhere recently? Where the fuck was
I see them every week. Kelly Zabilski is a co-host on the I Don't Know About That podcast. Jack Hackett is a part of the I Don't Know About That podcast as well. He's always on the Patreon. He's on the regular.
I think I had a dream about them.
And Tommy Caprio. I don't know if you've ever met Tommy Caprio. He lives in Las Vegas right now, but you might have met him. He used to work on the Jim Jeffries show. I
had a dream that I was somewhere at a work set, like at a show or something, and someone came up and goes, "Yeah, I know this guy," and I was like, "Hey," and I'm like, "I don't know," and then.
That sounds like Tommy Caprio, but I don't think you've ever met him, but that sounds like how he would talk to you.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, all right, man." And then he was like, "Unsolicited podcast." And I'm like, "Oh, hey, man." There's no way I dreamt that. Did that happen somewhere?
Too many candy canes, then.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, what was his name again? I'm sorry. I know him.
John. Everyone's
John,
favorite.
yeah.
Everybody's favorite blind guy.
Well, my
He had bought tickets to my show in Sacramento that I had to cancel. That I will be going back to at some point, John. I will be going back to Sacramento.
That's my third takeaway is that Forrest is big in the blind community. Forrest is super great entertainer if you don't have to look at him for an hour.
Look, I mean, I'll take it.
Yay.
I mean, how many blind people are on the whole planet?
Yeah.
If all of them liked me, I feel like that'd be a good career.
Yeah, you know, I met a kid named Zane when I actually did that not the Grand Cayman gig, the Virgin Islands gig. And he was a local comedian because they did have like a little open mic night on that island. And he was a high school kid at the time and he was blind. And they wouldn't let him in the club to meet the comedians, and he just wanted to meet because they don't get a lot of comedians come through. So the club owner came out and told me the story, and I walked outside to meet him, and I sat there and chit-chatted with the kid for like 30 minutes. I still keep in touch with that kid. This was like 10 or 15 years ago. He actually ended up going to college in New Jersey, and now he does a little bit of radio and still does comedy. Shout out to Zane.
Zane, you think he listens? Zane, call in drunk.
Yeah, Zane. Tie one on and call in, buddy.
I thought you were going to say that was the guy that didn't like me.
No.
Remember that guy? Remember the guy that when I moved here, I met some guy that doesn't like you.
I met a dude who doesn't like you?
Yeah, most people like me in the comedy community. There was one guy that was a comedian that said he didn't like me.
Well, that was that dude. I think we told that story one episode, right? That was that dude when you were doing the gig we were at the chicken wing restaurant.
Yeah. And I think we told the story. Yeah.
And then he was just like, he's like, I go, where do you live? He's like, LA. And I'm like, well, I've never met this guy before. And he was just like, oh no, you were there that night. He didn't like you that night, right? I don't remember the story.
Did we tell the story? I don't think we told the story in the podcast.
Well, tell it again. Not everyone's listening to
everything. I don't know. If we did, whatever. This guy, I don't remember his name. He was Ellie Rodriguez and Irene Morales ran a show at a wing place.
Yeah, Sports
in
Grill.
Miami.
Woo,
Sports Grill.
Wings are the jam.
And there was a bunch of comics there that night, and this kid was in town because he was from Miami. I'd never heard of him. And it was around the holidays, so he was in town, and his family was out there to watch too.
Yeah.
And he went up there, and whatever. It's a gig in a Sports Grill wing place, but it was still fine, and it was a gig that he was given.
Yeah, and he was shitting on it, right?
And I've never heard of this guy. It's not like fucking this guy rolled into town and we're like, oh my god, there's this fucking so and so. He just had a Comedy Central present or something.
Yeah, it's not like when like Brett Ernst would headline at the Miami Improv and then pop over to John Martin's and do a gig or something, like a late night bar set in town. It wasn't like that. Like this is just some guy who we'd never met before, and he was like, I live in LA. Oh.
Yeah. And it's like me and you were both doing the road. I already was opening for Jim and stuff. Like I would know you probably. And even if I didn't know you, you should be nice. And he like shit on the gig a lot. Like he was like, and he just kept shitting, and nobody knew him. Like, it's fine to shit in the gig and you're making fun of it, but it's like tongue in cheek, whatever. But nobody knew him either, so it was just like this. So, anyways, I got up there and I just made fun of him and his family for a while, which I was quite good at the time. I used to do a lot of that, and I just kind of roasted him and his family and fuck him and his family on the holidays.
Yeah, he was mad, bro.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck you guys. So I guess when I guess you were at some gig in Santa Monica one time, and I don't know how my name came up, but he was like, he said he hated me.
Yeah.
I was like, good.
I was like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
happy
holidays.
More voicemails?
Yep.
Candy cane number 2. Oh, wait. Yeah. Luis, you want one?
Nah, I'm good. I hate candy canes.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
You sure you don't want to smell it?
Yeah. Not rather smell my own shit.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go.
G'day guys, Richard from Australia again. My phone's been quiet. I thought you might not have remembered me. Hey, give me a call anytime. Just wanted to let you know I didn't drive off a cliff. Turns out I only get a few minutes of overseas calls with my mobile phone package. if we're going to make this a regular dialogue, I'll probably have to change that a bit. Anyway, keep up
Just
the
like
good
our
work.
Zoom.
And just to clarify, Cousin Donnie would have been very disappointed if Brad Pitt jumped out of the chicken soup. He didn't do the people very well. Bye, guys. Keep up the good work. Talk to you later.
Richard and his chicken boinking relatives.
And of course, in Richard fashion, we got another one.
Oh, follow up.
No, God, yeah. Richard, we love you, but also, come on, save some room for other people.
About an hour and a half later.
Okay, yeah, play that one.
There we go.
Hey guys, Richard from Australia. It's been like an hour and a half. Just thought I'd check in. All right. Hooroo.
Richard. Richard.
I'd say more
Get
calls,
out there.
Richard. More calls, Richard.
Get out there.
It's like in The Cable Guy, you know that movie, The Cable Guy, when he keeps calling him leaving messages, like, we're playing a bit of phone tag here. He keeps calling.
Richard's gonna call in drunk one time because he'd be like, "Hey guys, you said to call when you're drunk," and you're gonna be actually hearing. It's gonna be obvious he's driving his car.
Yeah. All right, Richard. Well, thanks for calling. Guys, ladies, let's get a woman. Call in. We need some questions. We got to answer some questions.
Hey,
the
Richard,
Mermen line.
Richard, next time you call in, specify where in Australia you live, what your marital or relationship status is, and how old you are, and we'll see if we can find a lady in Australia so that you won't be so lonely.
You're already guessing it. I was going to guess it. He's not married.
I'm going to go not married. I'm going to go 50. And I'm going to say he lives somewhere pretty remote.
Is he blind?
I hope not. He was driving a car.
You never know. Tesla drives itself. That's it? We got 3 messages?
We got 3 voicemails and we got 1 text.
Okay, what's the text?
So
we got a text.
Proof that the texts work, people. So this text comes from Gus. It says, "Hey, I'm Gus. First time, long time. Mermen rules. So glad to see Luis over here. ID Cat just isn't the same." That's it.
Oh, they miss you.
Oh, wow. Sounds like your brother sent that or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
It's Gustavo.
It's Gus.
I also never talked on ID Cat, so I don't people probably don't even realize I'm not there anymore. Probably not.
No, didn't you have some? I thought you had some admirers on there.
I think anytime Jim mentioned my wooden car blowing up on the freeway is the only time people would even know of my existence there.
I thought you had a couple of female admirers.
Well, hopefully they don't find out you smell your own shit.
Fuck. Hope they don't call it.
All right. Well, here's the thing, guys. We appreciate you calling in and sending text. We need some questions, and make them water related, maybe even And we need some women calling in. Don't be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe
we need some women listeners first, probably.
Maybe instead of people calling in with their merman fetishes, maybe they could give mermen what's it called? The fucking not fan fiction. What's it the fiction that erotica, something like that. They could send in their own ideas.
You would like that, wouldn't you, Luis?
Yeah, this is for me. This isn't for the podcast. This is specifically for me.
Also, maybe Dave could stop chewing on candy canes on the microphone.
They're just so good. You're supposed to. I don't have the discipline. I do this with cough drops. I do it with ice. I don't have the discipline to just suck on it and enjoy it. I do that for the first half of it, and then I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, we're getting towards the end here, so to recap, I'm going to assume the USA is still kicking ass when this comes out. So I wore my USA shirt today. You're doing great, USA. We're all proud of you, whether you're still alive or not.
No. I think the World Cup's over when this comes out.
Hey, congratulations to the USA for winning the World Cup. That was incredible.
Oh, no. It might be near over.
Good luck to the USA in the World Cup final.
Oh, no, wait.
You guys are really inspiring our country. What?
Wait, this is going to come out before the World Cup starts.
Wait, what? It already started.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
It was a bit. You were supposed to keep going with it, but you didn't.
Good luck, USA. I bet you at least make it 3 rounds and you beat Iran 1-0. And you take
but
England to a draw
can't do
like
it now.
Forrest and I both predicted.
Yeah.
Good job, mate.
Yeah. I get it.
Hey. We should do I was laughing at the clip of us doing the bad accents. We should do a whole episode. We should play a game where one of us has to do the whole episode in some like pirate speech or British accent or something.
Okay. Yeah. I was halfway through doing my voiceover, my new voiceover reel. I did a commercial one.
Yeah.
And then I was supposed to come back the next day and do my animation one, and then I tested positive for COVID, so I didn't even get to do it.
Bro, I'm so sorry that you got COVID from somebody else.
But it's funny because she goes, "What accents can you do?" And I go, I said I can do, and I was like, I'll do like a Southern accent, and I'll do some. And then she goes, "Can you do a Russian one?" I go, "Yeah, I guess I can do a Russian one." And then she said, "Can you do Middle Eastern?" And I go, "Am I allowed to do Middle Eastern?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "Yeah, I think you are." And I go, "No, I'm allowed to do." Like, it's funny that you can do a Russian one. Just they would go, "Fuck."
Yeah.
Like you say, I can't do anything right now. I'm nasally, but I don't know what the rules are.
When you're nasally, it's the worst. Like even when you're doing like shows and you're trying to fight through a cold to like do your show or whatever, it's like you don't have any inflection. You don't have any like breath behind your. It's such a pain in the ass.
You get out of breath too.
Yeah.
Even now I've been like out of breath. I'm not like out of breath. I have my oxygen monitor here. I take my oxygen levels,
Mm-hmm.
wear it around my neck.
Yeah. I'll bet if you showed us your bedroom, it just looks like a hospice center.
No, it looks pretty good.
All right. Well, speaking of the,
you know what this is?
Huh? What is it? Is that a? It looks like a whalebone.
It's a manatee. It's a petrified
manatee penis?
rib. Manatee rib.
Oh.
I use it as like a paperweight here. Yeah.
Bet you do.
It's a piece of a rib. Yeah.
Is that one of the attachments for your tushy?
Nah, that's what I when I can't smell anything, that's what I get a little bit of poop on. A little poop stick. Smell it. You got a little poop on there.
Let's save it for next episode, but I want you to tell everyone about your punishment for your fantasy football league too. But maybe we should save that for next time.
You want me to save it?
Yeah. I think we're like at
an
an hour.
right now.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to lose though. I won this week, so I don't think I'm going to lose. I'm in a pretty good spot.
Yeah. Let's do a whole fantasy football recap next episode.
Okay.
All right. All right. I'm going to be, I think this will come out before it will. I'm going to be in Tampa, guys, pretty soon, December 21st to 23rd. Right now, as the recording of this podcast, I'm trying to work out a way to do a barbecue event with some of my buddies who live in Florida. Shout out to Barbacoa Boys, to Smokey Jones.
That'll be next week. That'll be next week from this podcast.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, check with my Instagram, Dave W Comedy, and see if I was able to pull off this barbecue event, because I'm going to try to get Smokey Jones Barbecue, Namaste, and Barbacoa Boys, and maybe some other dudes out. We'll do a whole barbecue event in the parking lot at Side Splitters, but I'll be doing something with those guys either way, so check it out. But just come see me at Side Splitters, December 21st to 23rd in Tampa. Excited about that. Wednesday, December 28th, I'm going to be at the Orlando Improv. So if you live in Orlando or in the neighboring communities or know someone who lives there and want to just tell them, please come out. Would love to have a good showing at that show. At Dave W Comedy, DaveWilliamson.com is my website. Yeah.
Yeah. Just go to Forrest.net. Check it out.
When does this episode come out for us?
12th.
The 12th. You have 1 week left to buy raffle tickets to try to win a Rectech smoker. It's a badass RT 1250. It's a $1,500 smoker. I'm trying to raise money to bring these water polo players from El Segundo to Florida for a really awesome camp. So you can buy raffle tickets very reasonably. Go to my Instagram or message me. I'll give you all the information, and you could win that. I'm also going to give away a $100 gift card to Neanderthal Fire Company, which makes badass cutting boards. And I'm also going to do a third place prize, which is just a bunch of rubs from my cabinet that I'm going to box up and send to you. So
you're doing so much stuff. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be doing stuff when this episode comes out. I got to get all this in. So yeah, come
I'm not doing shit.
Support one of those things. Subscribe, listen, watch the Mermen podcast at Comedy Records on YouTube. Forrest, I'm so glad you've made a full recovery by the time this has come out. I hope you're in Asia. And what you got, buddy?
We'll see. We'll see. Next up, I don't have anything. I'm gonna be in this Asia tour. If you're in any of these countries, Korea, Japan, Taiwan, Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, come out and see a show. I mean, they're opening for Jim Jeffries. And then if you're in Thailand, I'll also be at the Comedy Club Bangkok on December 10th. If you're in Singapore, I will also be at Comedy Masala on December 21st. Just tickets for that. That's just me. I'll be there with some other comics, but that'll be me there. So, do you think we have any listeners in Singapore?
I don't know. We'll find out.
I hope we do. If you do, call in 347-MERVERT. Let me know you're coming to the show, and let me know if you're blind.
You have the energy of my wife's grandma. One of her grandmas is like 110 years old, and is like,
I'm COVID. Fuck face. What do you want me to do?
No, but she's been so healthy her whole life. But for the past like 30 years, like ever since I've known my wife, you're like, hey, grandma, we're excited to see you next month. She's like, if I'm still around. Like, you know, like she just had this like, whoa, I don't know. We'll see if I'll be there, you know. But
how about
meanwhile,
this?
she's like outlived everybody.
January 9th through 15th, I'll be at the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas.
Boom.
There you go.
There you go.
United States of America, where I'll be celebrating United
Vegas.
States World Cup loss to the Netherlands.
I love you, buddy. I hope you get better. And if you need anything, just let me know. I'll do what I can to support you.
No, you won't. They'll probably just send me some fucking rub.
Oh. Hey, I got to get a good picture with you, an updated one. In case you die, I got something to post to Instagram. It's real nice.
Oh, yeah. That'll be all 10 minutes. People will be like, Forrest. What's going on in the comedy community? Comics keep dying.
I love you, buddy.
Okay, bye.
Waka, 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 waka.
For they are the mermen.